Hello and welcome to the Sports Shield podcast. It is Friday, September 23rd, and we got a big weekend of sports coming up, so let's dive right in. In baseball news, Aaron Judge hit his 60th home run this week. If he hits one more, he would tie the American League record set by the Yankees' Roger Maris in 1961. The only players to break 60 have been Babe Ruth, Roger Maris, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, and Aaron Judge. So he's joined an exclusive club, and this is great for the game of baseball.
Yeah, I think it's crazy, but also keep in mind that club is even more exclusive when you realize that three of those players, I believe, were in the juicing era. So
yeah, Bonds, McGwire, Sosa, all hit the juice.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's pretty crazy to see that somebody's actually hit 60 home runs in the modern era of football or baseball.
All right. Well, thanks for leading us into that, Quinn. In football news, we're coming up on week 3, and we got some games to pick. So far this season, Quinn is 2-2, and I am 1-3. That's going to change this week. We got 3 games. You want to start us off?
Yeah, so it's Texans at Bears. Texans haven't been great this season. The Bears really didn't put on a good performance, but I think the Bears are going to have this one. Texans really just don't have many bright spots on their team, and they're just an overall poor roster. So I really think the Bears are going to have this one, especially at home in Soldier Field. And that winter weather, or colder weather is really starting to roll in, and a team like the Texans might not be able to cope with that as well.
I think the Bears are going to have a dominant game running the ball, and the Texans aren't going to be on the field long enough to catch up with the Bears offense, which is weird to say since the Bears offense is pretty mediocre.
Yeah, David Montgomery showed flashes of brilliance last week. He really is a great running back.
And don't forget Khalil Herbert, too. He's been running well.
Huge fan of him. And Treston Ebner, the rookie out of Baylor. I mean, all three of them, I think that once they figure out how to get that three-headed beast going in the backfield, it's going to be terrifying for that Texans offense. And we're going to see a lot of rushing yards be put against that poor Texans front seven.
Yeah. We got a offensive shootout coming up here with the Bills at the Dolphins. Josh Allen and Tua Tagovailoa are both playing at MVP level so far this season, and Here we come for an early season AFC East showdown. What do you got?
I'm going to take the Dolphins this one. I think Hard Rock is a very tough stadium to play at. They really do just stick you right in the sun. I think Dolphins have the home field advantage, which might not be that big since they're not as large of a team as other teams and don't have as diehard of fans as the Bills do. But I really think that Tua is going to once again show that he's a good QB, and he's going to beat the Bills, who have had a very long list of the injury report so far this week.
I'm also going to go with the upset. I think Tua is going to play amazing. The Bills may be able to lock up. The Bills have Tre'Davious White, so they could be able to lock up either Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. But when only one of them is being covered, the other one's going to be running free through that Bills secondary. So I think we're going to see a lot of points put up in this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to the wire.
Yeah, I think it's going to be another must-watch game. Dolphins have so far this season had many must-watch games. First game of the season, I believe, was against the Jets. Not exactly, but past 2 against the Ravens, and now this one is going to be great games to watch. So going in from the AFC to the NFC, this is a rivalry that we've seen really form in the past few seasons ever since Tom Brady joined the Bucs, and the Packers are facing the Bucs in Tampa.
I'm going to go with the Buccos here. I think that they'll recover from the abysmal offensive showing they showed last week in New Orleans. And the Packers just don't have the depth at wide receiver to compete with the Bucs, even though Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are both out.
Yeah, but I think this is going to be another running game. It's going to be a lot of rushing yards on the ground. Tom Brady's gotten it done with poor receivers before, but, I mean, Packers have had I don't even know how many wide receivers who are injured or were on the injury report as of yesterday going into this game. I think it's going to be a lot of running and a big, long game of old school football.
Well, that's all the news all the sports we have for you today.
Whoa, we got to make our picks here. Packers versus Bucs.
I said Buccos.
I'm picking Packers here. That's all I got to say. Packers
Okay.
are going to win this one. I think that they have the better backfield better backfield. So that's going to be really fun to see. and old school football. So I like watching that kind of football. So
All right. Well, that's all the sports we have for you right now. Jason, Jackson, and Chap will be back with you on Monday, and we'll be back next Friday for the next weekend of sports.